Welcome to the Dowden Podcast. I'm your host, the official CRG, and today we're going to talk about why, if you're in your mid to late teens or even early 20s and you genuinely want to start to see some real progress and improvement in not only your mentality but your life, then it is absolutely crucial for you to stop putting so much pressure on yourself and instead just really start to take these things one step at a time moving forward. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any weekly episodes and posts. You can find video of this episode strictly on YouTube, but the audio everywhere else. Now, when it comes to actually putting that real pressure on yourself, whether that's through overthinking, worrying about the future, or just simply comparing yourself to others, putting pressure on yourself is something that I feel like so many of us struggle with, especially nowadays because of just how much control and influence the internet actually has over us as a society, making it sometimes very hard to not only see your own path but to then move at your own pace, because that's exactly what was happening with me until I finally started to not only change how much pressure I was actually putting on myself, but then how I would view my own personal life and journey moving forward. Because you see, back when I was still living in Maryland, putting pressure on myself and always trying to rush things was something that I was damn near doing on a day to day basis. To where not only was I just constantly overwhelming myself with just these crazy amounts of tasks and thoughts, but really I was just constantly trying to rush my own process and just compare myself to all these other people, having it not only start to ruin my own journey and my own timeline, but then truly start to take a toll on not only my mentality, but my life. Because when it comes to actually putting that real pressure on yourself and actually trying to rush these things along, especially when you're at that young of an age, this is something that is genuinely not going to do anything but not only take control over your peace of mind and your sense of direction, but really just over your motivation and those day to day actions. Because just like it did with me, instead of just letting life do its thing and just letting these things happen naturally, I would then instead just go and do the exact opposite by trying to take control over every single step, outcome, and detail along the way, having it literally take away one of the most important parts of my life, which is the process itself. Hence, why learning how to take these things one step at a time and really stop putting pressure on yourself is genuinely so important moving forward. So, if you're in your mid to late teens or even early 20s and you genuinely want to start to see some real progress and improvement in not only your mentality, but your life, then understanding that you have to stop putting so much pressure on yourself and really just start to take these things one step at a time moving forward truly is so important. Because when I tell you guys that doing this will genuinely make things worse, I truly do mean it. Because as you see with me, that's exactly what had happened until I not only tried to change how much pressure I was putting on myself, but then how I would view my own personal life and journey from there on out. So, moving forward, instead of just constantly comparing yourself to the things you see online or to other people you have around, or just always worrying about the future instead of focusing on now and the present, go ahead and just really start to take a step back and change these things. Start looking at your own pace, your own journey, what you want to do with your life. Because I promise you, fitting somebody else's mold isn't going to do anything but cause more problems for you. Okay, understand that you are no different. You can reach that same level of success. You can reach those goals. You can make these things happen, but it's going to be at your own pace. So if you truly want to start to make these things real, you truly want to start to see some real change in not only your mentality, but your life, then you first have to stop putting so much pressure on yourself and instead just really start to take these things day by day moving forward. But with that said, today's quote is by Ellen Wong. She once said, "Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Be happy with who you are and know that being you is the best thing you can do for yourself. You've got a long time to figure everything out, and there's no rush. Enjoy the now. I appreciate you tuning in. You can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And this is the Dowdum Podcasts.